Still working to finish things off here on the greenhouse this year. I'm now at the far end where we've tied into some living trees, and I'm just trying to re-support this better so that when the snow load hits it this winter, I don't have to worry about the weight taking it down. I'm going to take a log running from this living tree here over to the one over here, and it's going to go underneath each of the beams that we had supporting the roof here. So that should shore everything up, that it'll hold whatever weight it needs to. I already fell off this ladder once here today. The thing slipped off of this tree because we've got the bark off it and everything's really slippery. My ladder let go on me here a few minutes ago. Everything came crashing down. So I'm trying this here again. I think this is the third time now. We're going to put this now up against this living tree underneath those beams and run it over to the other living tree over here. So then the weight of the structure should be able to sit on this. Here's my camera stand today. I'm just putting my camera here in the notch and leaning the back of it against the axe there. You'd think by now I would have made a log tripod. Something out of the Flintstones. Okay, so this will swing up here into place. That then lines up underneath my middle beam, and that's the one I really wanted to support. Nothing should knock this over now. Try to solidify everything together here on the greenhouse. We're not building with proper lumber or by any proper engineering, and I don't want to see this thing fall down, so I try to really overbuild stuff and make sure everything's supported really well. And here's a look at the greenhouse here now at the end of the fall. And we've got two living trees, one here and one here, that support a log that runs across here, which then supports the three logs that run down the length of the roof. That supports all of the strapping, which in turn supports the plastic. You get the drift. And this can be made, this was made really cheaply. Just the cost of a little bit of strapping. And otherwise all the support beams were just logs that were here in the forest. Okay, and looking around, here's what else we have for support. Living tree again here. We're going to put a bat house at the top of those. And then we stepped in and we put another beam here and over across there to support weight independent. And that's just in case these trees over here ever rot out. We've got these up on stones at the bottom. And those are running up to support the roof also. They can also be replaced at any time if I want to get, if I want to interchange those and get a better log in place. And then over here in the middle, we put, again, a rock down and a post to support the middle, front and back, right here. I still have a living poplar tree here that I just left, but I'll cut that down at some point. And then over here is where we tie into the shed on this side. So I'm confident everything's going to be strong, that it'll support any snow load because we have a fairly good slope to the roof also. So I'm hoping that it'll shed most of the snow over the winter time. And I think this will hold up really well. Okay, so this is probably all we're going to do this year on the greenhouse. It's getting pretty late in the year, and I'm going to turn my attention soon to logging. We're going to have to cut enough trees over the winter to do the back half of this greenhouse, and I'm going to have to get a bunch of trees all of similar diameter here and length that'll come down off the top beam here of the greenhouse and run out at an angle and onto a rock foundation out here. And I need similar diameter because once you go to lay your strapping across that again, you don't want your strapping to be wavy where the different logs are, you know, different diameters. So you have to get a bunch of logs of the same diameter for that. That's going to be quite a project. We also have to accumulate logs to build some little A-frame shelters for some pigs next summer. We are getting into farming in the spring, at least I'm hoping to, and we're going to build a small little A-frame shelter for each of the paddocks that we rotate our pigs along, and that way I don't need to move the thing. I'm just going to have a little shelter on each one, I think, for them. But we're going to be getting into that here soon, accumulating the logs for it, and to finish off the greenhouse in the spring. And then we'll show you the building of a stone foundation, and that's also going to help with the heat. When the sun comes through the greenhouse, it'll warm up the rock and radiate the heat back into the greenhouse. Cool, yeah. Oh,